Hi again. So this is going to be a video on one of, I think, the most understated but most pervasive and important symptoms of self-hate and depression, and that's self-denial. So self-denial is pretty, it's what you think it is. It's denying yourself something. But it's more than that because it happens subconsciously when you hate yourself. When you hate yourself, your self esteem is so low and so skewed, like so far away from reality, that you underestimate what you deserve. And so your heart is telling you, oh, I want this, I want that, I want to try for this. And your mind and your negative thought patterns are squashing those desires and saying, no, you don't deserve it. You will not get this. You're not even going to try. This is something that I've struggled with for a very long time. And this can manifest itself in a few different ways. So I would say one of the most noticeable ways that self-hate can become self-denial is when you want something. You want to run for the president of some kind of a club. You want to try and further your career. You want to go back and learn something new. You want to switch majors. When you're trying to improve yourself, not you're trying, you want to improve yourself, you want to take up a leadership position, you're going to tell yourself, no, you don't deserve that. But instead of saying, no, you don't deserve that, you're going to pretend to be rational. And you're going to rationalize it like this: not enough people like you to do that. You aren't smart enough to run for this position. You aren't experienced enough, whatever. You're going to come up, your brain is going to come up with any excuse it can. But the reality is, when you boil it down, you're denying yourself what you want. Um, and when you do that, you are just going to be leading yourself into further negative thought patterns and negative thought loops, because you're saying, no, I don't deserve this. Why don't I deserve this? Because I'm disgusting, because I'm horrible, because I'm ugly, whatever you're going to say. And so I've done this for a very long time. I've done it when I was in high school. I didn't want to run for student council, even though it was something I did in middle school and I really wanted to do, but I didn't run because I thought I wasn't cool enough. That there is shortchanging me. It's making it so I am not living up to my potential, right? Another thing is when you want to form relationships. So for me, for so long, I was totally denying any kind of romantic feelings I had towards anyone. So I would deny any like crushes or whatever, ever since girls started liking guys, at like fourth grade, super early. But I would always deny myself that. I would always treat my crushes like it was something to be ashamed of, like it was this dirty secret. Because I felt like if people knew that I had a crush, or if people knew that I liked someone, this is like from a very early age, but then I would be ridiculed. I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve even the ability to have that kind of affection for someone, if that makes sense. And also, you can see a lot of people do this with their sexuality too. I'm too disgusting to have a sexuality. I'm too ugly to express my sexuality. And then that can actually become really dangerous because when you repress things for so long, they're going to come out in a potentially dangerous way if you have enough guilt about it. And so self-hate feeds all of this self-denial. You don't permit yourself to feel certain emotions. You don't permit yourself to try for the things you want. And then when you don't try for the things you want and you are wrapped up in this inaction, you're denying yourself these things you want, it just leads to that cycle again, and then it leads to more self-denial and more self-hate, and you are constantly in this cycle of underperforming and not fulfilling the things you want in life. You're not achieving those things because you don't even try, because you deny it. You deny yourself those things. And so this is something that I'm still trying to overcome. But I think I've gotten a lot better at it. My first step was realizing that I was denying myself these things, that I was treating my own feelings in a way that I would never treat the feelings of others. You know, I wasn't permitting myself to be myself. And so for me, it started by just taking inventory of what I was denying myself. I was denying myself the ability to have a crush. I was denying myself a clean room and living environment. I was denying myself a good relationship with my parents. Those were all things that I wasn't allowing myself to develop because I was stuck in my self-hate and my resentment. And so once I made that first step, which is, realizing what I'm denying myself, I was able to kind of consciously expose myself and give myself, go out of your way to provide yourself those things that you had formerly been denying yourself. And I would say in a very gradual way, because like I said, these things that you've repressed for so long, when they come out, sometimes it can be absolutely explosive. And I learned that the hard way going to college. You know, I never allowed myself to like a boy. I never allowed myself to have a crush when I was in high school or middle school. And so when I got to college and all of a sudden all these guys were interested in me, you know what I did? I just made out with like 8 guys every night. Every night. Not every night. Like, I would party 4 days out of the fucking week. And all 4 of those days, you bet, I was that bitch who was kissing any guy who even showed interest in me. Because I had repressed that side of myself. And with a little bit of alcohol and a very, exciting party environment, oh yeah, that came out in a way that I did end up regretting in the long run. And so gradually, so if I was me, I would go back and I would start gradually. So maybe tell your friends you have a crush, or tell your friends, oh my gosh, our waiter, he's so cute. And that's allowing yourself to express those emotions that you were formerly repressing because of self hate. I'm still working on this. Like, I remember over this past school year, I, you know, I I had a crush on this guy, and I still wouldn't tell people. Like, I was too scared until it came out when I was hammered drunk, right? And that's just so embarrassing and didn't get me anywhere. So the point is, you've got to stop denying yourself your own feelings, your own emotions, your attractions, your weirdest things that you like or desire. Um, because that's a part of who you are. And it's paramount to self love that you love not only the admirable parts of yourself, but you also love those parts that are kind of embarrassing, kind of, um, I don't know, power hungry, kind of whatever. Don't be ashamed that you want things. I used to think that it was shameful that I wanted things. That's not shameful. That's like every other human being in this fucking world. Everyone wants things, and you don't have to mask your desires for fear of being portrayed as selfish or greedy, because you're not. Um, so yeah, meditate on that one, friends. Bye bye.